Hello, everyone. This is Globee with a visit to another alleged haunted place in Memphis, Tennessee. This particular place is the Memphis Metalworks Museum. The Metalworks Museum was once a Civil War hospital, as well as a hospital during Memphis's yellow fever epidemic. There are also two Indian mounds across the street from the hospital. Now, some visitors reported hearing whispers throughout the corridors of the hospital and soft footsteps. There have also been claims of people seeing figures dressed in marine attire roaming the grounds. Paranormal investigators have come here and claim to have captured electronic voice phenomenon. So we're going to visit this museum today. We'll visit the grounds. We'll go inside some of the buildings and see if we hear anything or see anything out of the ordinary. They've added a blacksmith shop, foundry, and library after the city of Memphis obtained the property. Then the city of Memphis opened it to the public in 1979, and I'll visit the gift shop, the foundry, and the library, and we'll see if we hear or see anything out of the ordinary in those buildings. The museum sits high above the bluffs of the Mississippi River with great views of the river. The Metal Museum is the only institution in the United States devoted exclusively to the art and craft of fine metalwork. Ghost Asylum was an American paranormal television series that aired from September 7, 2014 to June 5, 2016. Now, the series featured ghost hunters that try to trap ghosts in abandoned asylums, sanatoriums, and mental hospitals. Well, in its season 2 opener, they stayed at the Metal Museum here at the Marine Hospital. They tried to trap the ghost of a Civil War soldier named Henry Wood. Well, I'm outside walking around, and I'll probably drive around another time or two to see if we can stir up anything or anyone. There's tight security around this place, as it is now a residence for Marines. And the place is gated, and there are cameras everywhere. The hospital opened in 1884, and its main use at that time was for treating Civil War patients, but they also used it as a scientific research center to explore cures for the yellow fever. And it's also said that there was a morgue in the basement of the hospital. Since we were here, we decided to visit some of the metalworks. I asked the receptionist if she had encountered any paranormal activity, and she said she had not, and she stated that if she had, she would no longer be working there. River City. This sculpture was created by Illinois-based casting artist Preston Jackson for its exhibition of hidden culture on view at the Metal Museum through January 26, 2025. Oh, neat.
We already looked at all this.
I feel like if you go look at it, the thing doesn't start for sale.
The river. Look how low the river is. Oh my goodness. All the rain we have. Oh my goodness, the river is extremely low. This lady started work at the Metalworks Museum 40 years ago. She started as a volunteer and volunteered so much they gave her a key and eventually a job. So we watched her as she did her metal demonstration.
Most foundries cast engine blocks or parts to tractors, or if you've heard of Kohler bathrooms, they make sinks and bathtubs. They also make molds and cast iron. Mold making scales down and scales up when you're doing two-part sand mold making. So I'm going to do a crucible. The crucible goes into one of our furnaces. The furnace is fueled by propane and air. The temperature goes up, the metal melts. And I'm going to pull the crucible out and pour into that mold. I only have one small mold, so it's going to go really fast. The pouring temperature of the aluminum is around 1400 degrees. When we do bronze, it's 19 to 2100, and when we do iron, it's more than 2800 degrees. So we have three different metals that we work with. Let me check one up. A lot quieter, right?
Yes.
So there is dross, which is just impurities on top, because I melted a bunch of already used aluminum. And there was a bunch of sand on it, so it's a little dirty. So this will go fast. I'm going to pour what's left into our cake.
So we're back outside walking around the grounds, trying to see if we notice anything out of the ordinary or see anything out of the ordinary. This pavilion would not have been here, but it's easy to see why the Marines picked this bluff above the Mississippi River as a strategic military location. Adding to the mystique of ghosts being in the area is the land across the street from the hospital. According to the Memphis Parks website, this was formerly the fortress of Chickasaw Chief Chiska. There are 2 ceremonial Indian mounds that were said to be built by Paleo Indians. During the Civil War, these mounds were hollowed out and used to store guns and ammunition. There is a community on this side known as French Fort, and to give you a little history of that, it started as Fort Assumption. It was built in 1739 by Governor Jean-Baptiste Lemoyne-Sion de Benville. That's a mouthful. The fort was constructed as a military campaign against the Chickasaw. He had with him about 1,200 Frenchmen and about 2,400 black and native soldiers. Now, this fort only lasted until the winter of 1739 to 1740, as they were plagued by disease, weather, desertion, and drunkenness. So all of these events, along with the sickness and death at the Marine Hospital, the disruption of what may have been sacred burial grounds, the yellow fever deaths, the fact that the hospital was used for medical research, all lend itself to describing this area as haunted. I can imagine late at night the sounds that can be heard would cause one to think of the paranormal, especially with the sounds of the Mississippi River flowing that is just a short distance away. Well, we did not see anything out of the ordinary on our visit, but I would highly recommend a visit to the museum, especially if you are interested in metalworks and or interested in being a blacksmith. Thanks for coming along with me today. I enjoyed having you, and I hope to pick you up on the next drive.